This past weekend, I saw this little girl. She had a Welch's grape juice bottle in her mouth.
A bottle?
And she was about 5. She had the whole bottle, as far as it'll go, just sucking on it, walking with her mama. Somebody said, get that out her mouth. When they took it out her mouth, that baby said, You know when she stopped crying? When a man picked her up and put her in her lap and started bouncing with her. Then she stopped crying and was looking like this. I say, that's a little growing right there. And everybody will say, Corey, what are you talking about? Corey, you crazy. Get the out of here. This little girl was in her bliss with her mouth wide open. She was just, it had the cap on it and everything. They took it out of her mouth. Then a man picked her up and started shaking her on his knee. And she was like, I said, that's a little.
So yes, that's Corey Holcomb saying he was in the mall and he saw a 5-year-old with her bottle, and that aroused him, and that's okay, and that he's implying most men would be aroused, and that she's training her mouth for the hustle.
The little girl took the bottle out of her mouth and he said she gonna be a yes. And if it was more men in the house, the little daughters wouldn't be walking around with things preparing their jaw for hustle. Her jaw is being prepared for hustle. And this was a little girl.
Her teeth aren't.
Baby Goobler. I like that.
Ugh.
If you let some people talk long enough, eventually they tell you the truth. And thanks to Poetic Flacco pulling our coat to it, well, that's where I saw that. So I don't watch Corey Holcomb. I don't care about all the red pill stuff. I'm amazed at how much of YouTube has become, and it's every demographic of person is. They've run out of stuff to talk about. They don't have nothing to talk about, so they either start beefs with each other or they talk crazier and crazier about stuff they don't know about, or they start talking about their own weird behavior. YouTube is full of people talking about being drug addicts, all kind of stuff, soft white underbelly. But here we have Corey Holcomb talking about, giggling about his girlfriend's little daughter's getting into the bed with him when he didn't have any clothes on. He didn't say he got out to bed. Oh, shit. He didn't say he did that. Go watch Poetic Flacco's thing. He has a whole bunch of stuff. These are just the 2 worst things. So little girls' mouths are for selling. That's what that's implied. Now, there was just a scandal in Detroit. I don't know what became of it. There was a guy everybody knew. They caught him on the phone with 11-year-olds. And then it comes out, oh, the whole neighborhood knew he'd been doing this for years. I have a very good memory, as you know, if you watch my channel, because I'm able to talk about different historical topics off the top of my head in lots of detail. I remember, I'm not somebody that wasn't into long-term girlfriends. I've dated many girls, met girls, or just talked to them on the phone, whatever. And I can think back to that age, being in my early 20s, late teens, when I was talking to girls that were late teens, early 20s in Detroit in the hood. I had, like, all the time there would be some problem in the household. You talk to them on the phone, boom, you hear a loud noise. What's that? Oh, every time I change, I gotta put my foot on the door. My mother's boyfriend, a Corey Holcomb type, tries to come in. You talking to them and they're cool, and then they start sounding weird on the phone, and they're like, oh, what's happening over there? Oh, my uncle just got out of prison for grape, and he ain't got nowhere else to go, so my grandmother's letting him stay here. So now the attractive teenage girl got to live with a guy fresh from prison that she don't really know, even though they're related, right? And you can go watch Poetic Flacco's things for all the clips. There's another part Corey Holcomb talks about taking a girl who's so poor, she never had a fitted bra. She just had cheap bras from Walmart. So she took her to Victoria's Secret. He took her to Victoria's Secret to get a bra fitted. And the woman thought it was his daughter and said, "Oh, that's nice, you're helping her." And he said, "That ain't my daughter. I'm standing up in that. I'm standing up in that. You know what?" That's what I do, prey on poverty. And he jokes about this all the time. Poor girls, I can ride in the projects in my car. It's all predatory. Now this is the difference between regular people, SEX, and what real life MOLEsters. That's why I don't think Corey Holcomb's joking. And a lot of these guys ain't joking, because it's about the praying. It ain't about the SEX. It's about the power. They want to pray. They want to get somebody weak. And that's why the poorest neighborhoods with the drug addict, and this is in all demographics, white, black, any of the worst neighborhoods where the drugs are being sold, Figueroa. Them guys grow up, half of them probably got prostitute mothers. So them putting a 14-year-old girl out on Figueroa, it seems regular to them. Women let their kids get touched for drugs all the time. Not all the time, but fairly frequently. And in the worst neighborhoods, the trailer park, the whatever, the hood, it's unattended children walking around. They 10, they go into the store. The 14-year-old girls walking the streets. When I got out during college, whatever, when I was like early, mid-20s, and we would be riding around back when Detroit still had people. And you catch girls walking around. But I stopped because so many would be so young, like they'd be 12, 13, 14, which horrified me. But not everybody was horrified. But anyway, so Corey Holcomb, you got to be careful who you listen to on this internet. As now we've lost all respect. They're telling you don't go to college. You can't respect the politicians. Look what's going on with Epstein. Whatever Trump did or didn't do, who knows? But it's certainly true. Epstein, and I don't necessarily think all those rich and powerful guys were necessary. I think Epstein was a con man more than anything. But even if these rich and powerful guys were still dealing with him just to do business deals, knowing that he had a conviction. Remember, his conviction was with having a 14-year-old, not a 17-year-old. Now, the 17 is okay, but 14 is definitely not okay. Epstein's conviction was for having a 14-year-old do stuff during a massage or whatever. To still be doing business with someone who just did a rich 45-year-old. Like, the world is full of adult female Rasta roots. And they don't cost that much, especially if you're rich. So that whole finding real young girls, it ain't about the SEX. It's the predation. You want to be in power over somebody because you got low self-esteem. And there's people that roam these neighborhoods looking for the kid with the crackhead mother. A girl I knew. Oh, still friends with her. I talk to her occasionally. She said that happened. The mother let whatever drugs left on the counter. She dealt with it. She grew up. Her mother got clean. They reconciled, whatever. And she would let the mother babysit her daughter. And I said, "You think that's a good idea?" And she went off on me. "That's my mother and she's clean, blah, blah, blah." Sure enough, now, look, it didn't come out that men were doing anything with their daughter, but like her mother was beating the girl when she wasn't around. You know, we've now become a society where people, barely don't want to have kids, and kids are not protected. No wonder people don't want to have kids. They don't get protected. Why is that even okay to talk about? If Corey Holcomb had an episode about that was all Holocaust jokes, that channel be zapped. And that's not because, Jews run everything and it's a conspiracy. Jews just don't let you play with them. Everybody shouldn't let people play with them. Most of my friends are the type of people that don't let you play with them about anything serious, which is good, because you shouldn't be playing around with anybody about anything serious. And thus, nothing bad will happen. Now, the thing with these older Jewish people, that the population of the United States is only like 2.5% Jewish. They don't own everything. But there's a lot in the entertainment industry, and they're older. Many of them have grandparents, uncles, many family members that was put in an oven. So you start talking about those type of jokes, it's not abstracted. They're thinking of a real human being. So many, now we're in this country where there's people laying on the ground in the big cities, blatantly getting high. That's something, you're damaged. Like, to reach that point of drug addiction to where you don't care, you're like a stomp down, I'm just outside smoking fentanyl, shooting fentanyl, smoking meth outside, like I'm just totally gone. You're damaged inside. You're escaping. Like something happened to you. Studies, I think like 70% of people that seek drug treatment, actually, not just, a lot of people use drugs here and there, but people that seek drug treatment claim to have been abused. I never got even smacked around, much less any touched in childhood. And I'm upset about stuff in my childhood. So I can't imagine if one of those, if that happened, I don't know how people even deal with it. And now if you let people talk about it in public and you normalize it, which is what some people are trying to do. Corey Holcomb and that horrible woman next to him who had to chime in, and she ain't got no teeth. A 5-year-old girl, and she only was happy when a man bounced her on her knee. She's gonna be a hoe. Now, you do know there's countries you can go. Vietnam, I don't know Vietnam anymore, Cambodia. United States government used to have to, does, but I've seen stories of them catching specific people. You can go to Cambodia, India, some of these countries, and there's specific brothels for the little ones. Probably Mexico, probably here. It's just hidden. These people need to be come down on hard. 5-year-old girl, Corey Holcomb? She wanted a bottle in her mouth because children are breastfed. And then you're weaning them from being on their mother's breast, not because they're fiending for your dusty penis. That's crazy. So be careful as you're watching all this stuff on social media and you're getting the dopamine hit. It's like smoking crack. Oh, exciting. He said something crazy. Social media is the new crack house. You go in there to get a hit. It comes and it goes. It's nothing you remember, but it's slowly rotting your brain. Because for him to be talking like that, and it seems like not a big deal, that's because we let so much go on. And in my so-called, I'm in the so-called crime genre, whatever. Now you have this other genre. You had the prison story genre, which is fine. People want to tell their prison stories. Hey, good. Now you have a subgenre of that, the booty bandit channels. There's at least one guy all he tells is booty. But where are you getting these from? You couldn't have possibly heard of all these tales while you're in prison. You're making them up. So you're doing homoerotic grape fantasy audiobooks on YouTube, and people are watching them. People are paying to interview that monster Fleece Johnson, the guy who was the joke character on the Boondocks. I like booty, I like you, and I want you. I'ma have you. Whose claim to fame, he was on that prison show 20-some years ago, Lock Up, and he tear sink off the wall for booty, and he would, and now he's out of prison, and he gets interviewed, and they pay to interview him, and they play sex games with if you interview him, he gonna act like he likes you. Oh no, that Drewski got him on the show. So people that have admitted to raping men, boys in prison, you can become famous and get paid off of that. No standards. Just to end, if you can talk about a 5-year-old girl training her mouth to hustle with, if people that claim to fame as they took young boys or young men in the penitentiary, and these people, not only it's okay, they getting paid off of it, and people are lauding them and keying, what's left? What's left? Nothing has any, there's nothing to respect about nobody, nothing. Maybe that's the place that we're at. Just the lowest of the low. Just the worst thing. I don't react to people's channels or talk about stuff, but that's crazy. He says a woman's daughter's crawled in the bed with him, and he just giggled. He ain't say nothing. What? So you sound like investigation need to be open on that. That's crazy. I don't even let little girls kiss me. I say, give me a hug. You shouldn't be kissing on strange men, little girl. I don't give no little girls money. That's all training them for that. I don't like that shit. I don't like when grown women call you daddy. None of that. It's weird. If you like that stuff, you're weird. Something wrong with you. Probably is something wrong with you. Something wrong with a lot of people. I got problems, but those aren't my problems. So, and there is a levels of your problems is lower than someone else's problems. If a 5-year-old girl, that's what you thought of first. That's what she was doing it for, to get herself ready for men, and the only thing that satisfied her is when a man took her and put him on her lap. That's crazy. Think about who you're listening to on these internet streets and what they're infecting your brain with. But go watch Poetic Flacco's clip. He's got more of it, but the clips I have in this are enough. What you gonna do about Corey Holcomb, Out Profit American Dope?